you going to say?
No.
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 I'm still chewing my breakfast.
That's still chewing a breakfast. So I shouldn't have turned the camera on.
I've just had some of the homemade muesli off of the phone. I think you got it, didn't you? That recipe.
Aye.
Got all nuts and seeds and things in, which I've got in my teeth, I must say.
Hello.
Hello.
It's Sunday. And yeah, we had our kid across yesterday. I should have.
Don't knock it. I could see phone wiggling. Maybe that's why it were a bit. What is it yesterday? A bit, jumpy.
Oh God. I have to stay ruddy motionless. You don't stay motionless, will you?
No, you don't, but you were rocking table with camera on.
It's alright.
Alright.
If you were walking with it, it'd be moving about.
Yeah. Oh, I have to apologise because apparently I were rattling about too much yesterday. And I think it annoyed a couple of people. I'm sorry. With plates.
It was rather noisy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But you were just siding up. That's what.
What you have to do.
Yeah.
When you're expecting company, you have to make sure you're tidy.
When we're in the camper, you're tidying up behind me and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
As it happened, they didn't arrive well.
They're not.
Nearly two, did they?
These are not professional videos.
No. No way they are.
No, they're full of errors. Yeah, it's a pity really, because our kid is not remotely interested in social media, YouTube, Facebook, all that lot. In fact, he's quite anti. He's no idea I do YouTube videos like we do. And so I didn't feel comfortable filming. It is a pity because I should have filmed the dog, because it was hilarious with the dog, because it regards Ernie as a meat pie.
I think. So I was trying to get him.
He was obsessed with Ernie the whole time he was here.
Yeah.
What was Patch? It's a Jack Russell.
He was 11-year-old, but still very sprightly.
Yeah, he is.
We want to see what he's done to the cupboard.
Oh really, this cupboard?
Oh yes.
Has Tracy seen it?
I don't think she's had a good look.
Oh God. Scratched it.
Taking chunks out.
Oh no.
Up front.
Oh.
You know, with his nails.
Yeah. Oh God.
Because with him being a little dog, he had to sort of jump up to see Ernie through glass, and Ernie kept bouncing against glass at him. As though he's encouraging him, really.
Yeah.
As though they both he wants to get out and he wants to get in.
Yeah.
So I'll have to have a look at that, see if I can
He would attack him, I think.
do some repairs. Well, other dogs did do, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. So.
But he hasn't learned by it, Ernie.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah, but we had a great meal up there.
It's a shame you can't film your Stanley, because he's ever so funny.
Yeah.
And he's a right in this.
Yeah, he is. You never get chance to speak. You don't need to have any
anything in mind to talk about, because Stanley will do a lot of talking
yeah,
for
he'll do a lot of talking for you. Yeah. Yeah. So I couldn't. I didn't feel
comfy.
comfy filming it.
But where did we go for a meal? We've been before, haven't we, in Horsford?
Agora. Agora, is it? It's great.
Beautiful service and food.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, really nice. So if you live around this area, that's a good one to go to.
And it were packed.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
And quite expensive. It'll
Well,
be.
everywhere is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, I'm afraid.
I mean, yeah.
It's all gone up with our pension, hasn't it?
No. I mean, when you think that we paid nearly £30 for fish and chips, and that were 58, just for me and you.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it's not,
Yeah.
you know.
And I had 2 glasses of wine.
I had 3 courses, and you had 2.
Yeah.
And 2 glasses of wine.
Yeah.
2 cokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
But as we say, absolutely very, very nice.
And I ain't got any stories.
Have you got any stories to tell? Oh dear.
Can you think of any stories, Pat?
Oh, not on the spur of the moment, no.
No.
I have to have a while to think about it.
They all like the one where you're getting water chucked on your head.
Oh. Did they?
Yeah. Seems
Well,
that
it were a funny sight, so.
we're not the only ones that have bowls on top of the wardrobe.
Oh, right. Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, water's deadly, isn't it? It gets in anywhere.
I mean, we did. That Alsatian dog, it were a crazy dog.
You too?
I used to take it for a walk along the canal here. And I'd turn round to see where it was and it'd walk back. It'd just turn round and come back.
Knew its way back here, didn't it?
Yeah, it were idle. It never wanted to walk.
Well, because it had been chained up all its life, it wasn't used to walking anywhere, were it?
I don't know, if you've been chained up all your life, you'd run round like a... I don't know what, wouldn't you?
It were just comfortable in its own little space, wasn't it?
And we did tell the story about what it did with the false teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, we have told it. I don't know whether people check. Do you check
Previous?
do you go down and have a look at the old videos? I don't know if people do. Because we told a story there about it chewing up some false teeth.
Our other dog, Kinky, was a beautiful dog. She was so placid. I mean, she'd just walk at side of you without a lead and never move really, just gently walk along with you.
Yeah.
Wasn't she?
Yeah. Kinky.
She were the perfect dog. She was. Whereas the Alsatian were a bit unruly, a bit sad.
It was a sad dog, that.
Yeah.
Used to bite your ankles.
Oh well. Everything bit your ankles. Even crow. Oh dear.
Yeah, I wish I could think of
A better story.
something else. Something did pop into my head last night, and I should have run upstairs and entered it in my book, but I didn't.
Does that mean you've forgotten it?
Oh yeah. Well, I think to myself, I'll definitely remember that, and then I absolutely totally forget. I can't believe it.
Well.
In fact, we were talking about that. with our kid and Jane, weren't we?
Mm.
Yeah, and our kid rang. Now there's a story. He rang Margaret. Now Margaret's my cousin.
Oh, your cousin, yours and Stanley's,
Yeah,
isn't she?
yeah. We grew, we're more or less the same age. And there's Iris, a sister. And Iris, she once came across to see my mum and dad one Sunday afternoon when they lived in Pudsey. And when I clapped my eyes on Iris, I mean, I hadn't seen her for a long time, really. And she was absolutely gorgeous. And this is before I met Pat, by the way. And she spent the afternoon at my mum and dad's house. And I asked her, I said, what do you fancy going to Pasadena? I said to Iris, which is like, it wasn't a nightclub, because it didn't stay open until like 2 in the morning and that. But it was, and of course in them days they weren't licensed, weren't these places, it were just soft drinks. But it was a brilliant place, and you had some pretty good live bands. Herman's Hermits played at the Pasadena, and quite a few other well-known bands in the 60s. Well, I took Iris there, and we danced together, and then there was this seating area where where you got drinks and you could sit down, and I did have
an advance towards her, poor lass.
Did, yeah. And then I took her to the bus stop, put her on the bus. It's funny, when I think now, I don't know what bus she could have got to get back to where they lived from Pudsey. No idea.
Maybe it were a bus into town and then she would catch another bus. I don't know.
Yeah, but a memorable night.
Yeah.
With Iris. Well, Margaret's a sister, and our kid rang her yesterday afternoon, and we had a chat on the phone talking about when we grew up.
Last time you met. And
that going back to the days when your parents used to go to someone else, a relative's house for tea on a Sunday. We used to sort of take it in turns. Sometimes people would come to our house for tea on a Sunday, and then we'd go to their house for tea on a Sunday. I can remember going over to, it was my Auntie Gladys, who was my dad's sister, and these 3 girls were Pat, Iris and Margaret. And we were all, Pat was a bit older than us.
and the young lad.
Well, he came later, did Michael.
Oh, right.
But in them days, when we were all little uns, we used to play together. And I mean, there's a wood. You still drive by that wood on the ring road now, and you can't believe what that wood was like. We used to have picnics on a Sunday afternoon in that wood. But I mean, that was before all the cars.
And go newting.
And what?
Go newting and...
Newting, catching newts. There were a pond apparently in the middle of that wood. Different world altogether from what it is now, yeah. And it always seemed to be sunny and all.
Oh, yeah, well, we say that, don't we?
Yeah.
Whether it's our imagination, I don't know.
Don't know. There's some reminiscences, they just pop into your head. Yeah.
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 Because
funny, when we were in the Weatherby Whaler, you could look down the road and the old what was the Pasadena is now some kind of,
one of these booze shops, thingy booze.
Booths?
Booze.
Booze.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Like cheap
license.
booze.
Cheap
Yeah,
booze
cheap
shops.
booze shop. There's a name for them, I can't think of it.
Yeah. By gum, it was a real lively place back in the 60s, that place.
Oh, and you'd Putsy Baths as well. You used to have things going on there.
Well, I used to have dances in there before Pasadena opened, We used to go there. Putsy Baths. In winter, they used to put a floor over at Bath.
Yeah.
In winter. Was it in winter or was it in summer? Yeah, winter.
Winter, because you'd have been going to Bath since summer.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, it did bounce a bit with that floor. Especially when Dave Clark...
Five were on. Pins and needles, wasn't it?
No, bits and pieces. They used to stamp on floor. It used to shake good. Floor used to shake
Bounce
like that.
up and down.
Mummy neck. So we didn't all go through.
Yeah. It is.
Aye.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all pretty girls, weren't they?
Dancing round their handbags.
Yeah.
In a circle.
Well, I meant your cousins. They were all three of them.
Oh,
pretty.
Iris, Margaret and Pat.
Yeah, they were all pretty.
Very, very. In fact, Pat was a stunner.
It was because of Pat, Stanley were ringing Margaret.
It was, yes.
Pat's had a stroke and she's
a really bad stroke. Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, she's in getting in care.
I remember when I was at art college, I was walking through Leeds with somebody, and Pat, I saw this beautiful woman walking up the hedgerow, and I said to this mate I was with, look at that, and she turned round. She heard me say it and turned round, and it was our Pat, and she said, "And now then, what you up to?" Well, I didn't know it was our Pat when she was walking by, but she always was a stunner. Yeah. God, the state I was in then. I think I was wearing an old Leeds City Transport raincoat that I got off my dad when he were on buses. Covered in paint, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, right,
you've always been a wadey dresser, haven't you, love?
Weird, yeah, used to wear weird clothes. Yeah.
You wouldn't know it, but Trevor prefers ladies' clothes to men's. He says they're prettier.
They're more interesting.
It's more interesting, yeah.
I find men's clothes boring. I'm always more attractive.
So when we go shopping for me, it's much more, it's not like a lot of men where they're not interested, they can't be bothered, they can't wait to get round and have a look at them.
Pick them
Say, this looks nice.
This looks nice, Pat, I like that, yeah.
Try that up.
Yeah, I haven't taken to cross-dressing yet.
No. That's one thing you have to do.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It brings out my feminine side.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I'm going to frustrate myself by trying to make pancakes again.
Yeah,
I had trouble yesterday because they were sticking to the pan, weren't they? I couldn't turn them over. I can't flip them. So I turned them with a spatula knife, but it was misbehaving yesterday.
Maybe you can make them smaller.
Yeah, I might.
Make smaller ones.
Yeah. Don't put as much in.
Like at MasterChef.
Ah, dear. Yeah, well, we'll have a go. See how we get on there.
Alright. Right, we'll come off and then you can do Alethea's pancakes. Alright. Ta-ra, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. picture of David's van coming up. They took it to the garage and the mechanic in 10 minutes did an amazing job on it. You won't believe it. Okay, bye.